dawned on me. I was like, they're all going to pass away. And my mom will also pass away at this facility. And it's hard to come to realization when you think of these things. My mom is doing fine now, everything is good, but inevitably she will pass. And these other ladies will pass. And it's going to be so sad.
Hi everyone, I'm Lexie Callies. Do you feel the squeeze of caring for an elderly loved one and school-aged children? Then welcome to the Sandwich Stories. Let's dig in.
Hi everybody, it's Lexie Callies with Sandwich Stories. I hope you're having a really great week. Saturday is 4th of July, so happy 250th birthday to America. We love you. We have one of the best countries in the whole entire world. And as someone who has family members who, back in the day, fought in the Revolutionary War for America, I say happy Independence Day. And so I just want to say that is wonderful. It's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be like all the fanfare. I'm super excited. I love a sparkle. I love a glitter. I love a sequin. I have my outfit prepared. I'm going to see Willie Nelson and other people do his Outlaw Festival on Friday and then celebrate with my family on Saturday. So it'll be super fun. But on another note, updates with my mom at her facility. And today was kind of a sad day. So there is a woman who is actually moving into my mom's facility and into my mom's building who used to live at Silverado with her at her old facility. And she actually sat at my mom's dining table at her old facility. So now she's going to move in to the same building as my mom. So I'm super excited about that. But when I went to visit today, the room I thought she would have gone into had somebody else's name on it and all their things were in it. And I said, is Miss So-and-so going to be moving in? And they said, oh yeah, she's coming in on Monday. And I was like, oh, what room is she taking? Because all the other rooms, except for one very tiny, tiny, tiny room in the back, is available. That's the only room that's left. And I was like, is she taking the room in the back? I'm surprised. And they said, no, she's taking room 11. And I was like, but wait, that's someone else's room. And they said, yeah, she passed away on Monday. So this is the first passing of somebody in my mom's building. Now, this woman did not live in my mom's building for very long. I don't even think she's been there a month. I think maybe a month at the most. 3 weeks to 4 weeks she has been there. And she was very elderly, and you could tell she was very frail and pretty much bedbound. They could put her in a wheelchair, but she was mostly in her recliner or in her bed. And so, it's just sad. It makes me realize and it makes me think that um, my mom is now going to be living in the location where she will pass away. And the other ladies that she's living with at the moment will also probably pass away there. And some of them I know really well, some of them I don't because they're new and I haven't gotten to know them. But the other two went, there are two women there that moved in at the same time as my mom, and I know them and I know their daughters, and it's, they're lovely. And we've all kind of looked out for each other. And then it just dawned on me. I was like, they're all going to pass away. And my mom will also pass away at this facility. And it's hard to come to realization when you think of these things. My mom is doing fine now, everything is good, but inevitably she will pass. And these other ladies will pass. And it's going to be so sad. And for most of the women who live there and for most of the residents who live there, they won't notice. But the passing will be noticed and felt mostly by those of us who care for them and those of us who are there every day. And that, if your loved one is still alive and still there, then you're going and visiting, and then you see someone else move into that same room, that someone you learn to love and care for. has passed away and they no longer live there. And one of these ladies will be my mom's next door neighbor. They live, my mom lives right next door to one of these ladies in the facility, and she's lovely, and I think she's great, and it will be so, so sad when she passes. And it's just a really hard thing to think about, but it's reality, and I live in the real world, and I know this is what will happen, but it's just hard to think that these are the people who will be with my mom when she passes. And that my mom will be with these people when they pass. And we move forward, but it's still going to be really sad. And this is just the start. And I didn't think that we would have the start come so soon, right? So my mom's been there since November. Most of the ladies that live in there now have only been there for the last month or two, mostly in the last 2 months. These are when a lot of these new people have started moving in. So I don't know them really well. I do feel for the loss for the family of the woman who passed away on Monday, and it's really sad. And I wish them all the sympathy and all the best. And I know they're going through a really hard time. But it's just, I know it's how it is. And I'm sure it's going to get harder and harder, not even just for us, but especially for the caretakers, for the staff. I hope, I don't know, but I really hope that the staff has access to mental health professionals because, like I've said in the past, God bless them. They do the hardest work, but they care. The women that work with my mom's building are some of the most caring caretakers she has had since we've started with assisted living, which has been for the last 5 years. So when I say that, in my mom's first facility, we had like one or two that were really caring. One in particular, believe me, I wish I could just take her with me everywhere I go. She's the best. But we haven't had caretakers like this in 5 years. And these women are phenomenal. And the care that she gets is phenomenal. So my heart goes out to the caretakers. They have to live with it. They're with these people day in, day out, caring for them in so many ways and caring for the family in so many ways. And we get to know them. Like I know these women. I'm starting to know these caretakers, like if they're married, if they have children, how long they've been in the business. I mean, one or two have actually worked at another facility that knew my dad. So, we know these people, and it's just, that's who I worry about, is the caretakers who are going to have to deal with this over and over and over again. And I know it's not new to them, but it's still really hard. So if you have someone who passes, I'm so sorry. But also, hopefully in your time of grief, and I hope when I have the same situation in my time of grief, that I can go and thank the people who actually cared for my mom when I wasn't there and who do the hard work. So, with that said, I hope you have a really great 4th of July. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to bring you all down, but it is reality, and it's something that I started thinking about today because this is something that is new, and my mom hasn't been in a facility for a while where someone she knew or I knew have passed away. So, it happened a couple times when my mom first moved into one of her facilities, and that was really hard for her because she was more with it. She understood what was going on, and she became friends with some of these ladies, and then they passed away, and it was just really hard for her. So now it's going to be really hard for me because I'm going to start to know and love these women just as much. So Anyway, that also leads me to the song of the week. This song is not as upbeat as I normally try to pick, but I felt like it fit well with what I was going to talk about today. And it is called Grandma's Hands by Bill Withers. If you don't know who Bill Withers is, get out there and find him. He is one of the best musicians that has ever lived. I think he's great. This whole song is really about how everything that came and from his grandma's hand. She always had a candy, she always had a hug, she always had a way to clean up his scrapes, how to get in between him and a parent, when she thought the parent was being too rough. Those kinds of things. Grandma's hands were always there to get him through life. And then she passes away and grandma's hands aren't there anymore. But he hopes to find them and see them when he passes. So I love the message of this, and it just made me think of all the women that my mom lives with, and my mom being a grandma, what that means. So get out there, go listen to this song. Maybe it's something you need to hear. Maybe it made me think of my grandma Betty, who passed away when I was 6, but I still remember being with her and everything that she did for me, even in the short amount of time I got to be with her in life. She was the best. So get out there, have a happy 4th of July. Think about your caretakers when tough times happen. And the song of the week, Grandma's Hands by Bill Withers. I hope you all have a really great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Sandwich Stories. I really hope you learned some new things and enjoyed it. If you did, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell everybody you know to also listen. Maybe they'll learn some new things, how to help each other out, and find us at Sandwich Stories Podcast. Thanks so much.